Hi guys, welcome to another tactical video. This one is part 4 of how to win at 40k, and it's also going to be the final part, and it should be a bit shorter than the others because there's only a few things left to say and it's just kind of wrapping up a bit. Basically this is something that you hear quite a lot, that people say, and it's a good bit of advice. It's basically play the mission. Play the mission is basically as it sounds. So obviously I've got my objectives here. Maybe you are playing Maelstrom, maybe you're playing kill points or something. Generally you're playing objectives, and maybe you're playing tactical objectives. Okay? No matter what the mission is, always play to the mission. So what are the specifications of the mission? Does it have anything in particular that you can exploit? For example, in 6th edition, things like big guns never tire meant heavy support was scoring, so you could use that to your advantage and like have more things to take objectives. Also, you could kill your opponent's heavy support choices and get more victory points, and that's still true in 7th edition. So, you know, that changes things a little bit. Some extra objectives. So what I mean by play the mission is basically that if your mission is to collect objectives, then it really does not matter how many models you have left on the table or how many your opponent has left on the table, so long as you are holding more points worth of objectives than they are. So even if you had a single model on this objective, if your opponent has none and there's not any other factors in play, you win. It's as simple as that. Even if you both hold an objective and then you can somehow contest that objective, you win. So there's quite a few ways to win, basically. And maybe the objectives won't even come into it. Maybe it will be decided on secondary objectives, such as Slay the Warlord and that kind of thing. It's all possible, but basically you should know how to get these points, and you should be looking to get these points. And although it's easy to say that you should be looking to get these things right from the start, I'd say unless you're playing the tactical objectives ones and you know what you have for that turn, and you can get them right at the start, I would actually say, generally speaking, it can be nice to do that, and you should have some objective holding because of benefits like mysterious objectives, but also like you have the pressure on your opponent a bit more. For example, you have a Predator tank holding an objective on your back line, then yeah, that's fine. But I'd say in general, otherwise, it's not so important until you get to about turn 3. Now, I always see turn 3 as key. Reason being is because usually by that point you know who's going to win the game. One side may be very much on top. One side may be just kind of pulling ahead, and you get a feeling of the way the game is going. Maybe it's very, very close and you know it's going to come down to the wire. But generally speaking, turn 3 is a good indicator of how things are going. Now, it's not always the case, but generally speaking. By this point, you really should be looking at claiming objectives. Turn 3 is when, whatever has happened so far, you need to focus on getting the objectives. Now, that doesn't mean you should immediately pull all the pressure off your opponent. If you've got him on the back foot, you shouldn't just immediately pull everything away and then run to objectives. That's stupid, but you should start allocating a few resources to these objectives that are left in the clear, like a few troops, maybe some very weak squads that are just going to die, that kind of thing. Make sure you've got some coverage, and ideally you would have several units to an objective. For example, if you had the Rhino that a squad was in, and then maybe one guy who survived, run them both to an objective, and even if one gets killed, you've still got another backup. So again, it's more pressure on your opponent, and if you're still keeping the pressure on him for your battle plan and attacking, then they're going to struggle because they've got to deal with that, or they're going to lose their own objectives. So it's a good way of doing it. So likewise with that, never give up. No matter how bad it looks in the first few turns, especially by turn 3, never ever give up. Never concede. Always play it out. Even if you have one model left on the table after turn 1, play it through. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you really should play it through. The reasons, there's several of them. First off, even the most crushing looking turns, the first few turns, I have seen turn around. And usually this is because you are getting the most out of your models, or you have a really strong battle plan and you didn't care about the losses you took because the battle plan was still enacted. And you were playing things on your terms, but yeah, it could be turned around. Likewise, you can make things difficult for your opponent. And, like, for example, if you have, like, squads who only have one guy left and that kind of thing, hide them. If they don't have anything useful, hide them on objectives, that kind of thing. Put them out of line of sight where they're really annoying, and then they can just swoop out at the last turn, grab line breaker or something like that, maybe contest an objective. That's as good as holding one most of the time. That kind of thing is really frustrating for an opponent, and it means that he really has to kill everything, and it takes pressure off the units that can still do stuff at the same time, because he has to deal with these little remnants. So make it difficult, and you know, you will see things turn. And again, and that's in a similar vein, basically your luck can turn at any time. And if you've had particularly bad luck, I had a game last night, for example, where by turn 2 my luck was atrocious. I'd made like 2 saves the entire game, and I'd lost like units and units of stuff, and it was going so badly, and I managed to turn it around because my luck turned, not like amazingly, but it stopped being so bad. And after that I was able to get on and do things, and even when I was losing troops by the droves, I stuck to my battle plan, played to my terms, and eventually it broke through and it made the difference. So always play it through. Never ever concede. Excuse me, my voice is going. The other reason for this is, even if you lose, and if you didn't give up, and you lost and you made it difficult, and you stuck to your battle plan and stuff, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot about what your units are capable of when basically things go wrong, and you are basically fighting an uphill battle. You're going to become a better general because of it. You're going to become a better player. Excuse me. But the main reason you should never give up is because it gives you psychological strength the next time you play that person. Because it is very, very stressful to someone if they feel like they should be winning, like easily, but you just dig in there and you make it as difficult as possible and right to the wire. You know, they have to keep going for it, and you know, if they mess up, you're in there and you take advantage and that kind of thing. It basically means that even if you lost, in their mind they will see you as extremely tough, and it's going to give you benefits the next time you play them, because they're going to be like, well, I've got to be on top of my game, I've got to play my best, because if I don't, last time it was a nightmare, it was so hard to beat this person that, you know, and they'll make mistakes, because pressure makes people make mistakes. So that's basically it. It's simple, just play the mission, never give up. So hopefully this video is helpful to you. I'm really losing my voice, so I'm going to have to stop very quickly. Excuse me. If you liked it, click like. Feel free to comment, ask any questions. I'll try and get back to you as quickly as possible. Remember to subscribe for more videos, and now I'm going to get out of here. So thanks for watching.